We need to talk. I don't like to complete video games. At least that's the conclusion I made after making an inventory for my video game collection. How can I truly enjoy games if I don't complete them, right? Now, don't get me wrong, I have completed my fair share of games, even to a point that I've 100%ed them, but it seems like these days I am incapable of actually finishing any. I'll hyperfixate on a title for a significant amount of time, and as soon as I'm out of the routine of it, I'll never pick it up again. And with the sheer amount of games being released each week, it's hard to keep up. There have been so many times where I've been so close to the finale of a game, but something stops me from getting to that final stage. I briefly mentioned in one of my early YouTube videos that I often feel uneasy or sad if I know that the story's coming to an end. Plus, if something pulls me out of that routine, a life event, sickness, or just forgetting, then it's hard to get back into that rhythm again. More often than not, though, I almost never pick that game back up, even if I have collections and achievements to claim. Oh, I should probably introduce myself. Hi, I'm Mai, aka Mai the Pirate, your friendly neighborhood Scot and serial anti-completionist. All jokes aside, it's kind of becoming a problem for me. Regardless of whether it's physical or digital, my game collection seems to be breeding like bunnies. With give or take 300 plus video games at my fingertips, it isn't freedom or even choice. It's paralysis and it's suffocating me. I can spend chunks of my evenings sifting through my collections only to give up and play nothing at all. No amount of scrolling through my Steam library or spreadsheets can save me now. Even my retro collection is feeling the brunt of it now. I prided myself knowing that I'm not just one of those collectors that never play their games and have them displayed on shelves gathering dust. Well, now I'm almost one of those. Oh God. In order to escape this fate worse than death, I know there is only one thing left to do. No, I won't be selling my games. Instead, I'll be playing them. Now, I'm slightly ahead of myself here. At the start of the year, I preemptively decided to work through some games with some goals in mind. For example, back when the TV series released, I aimed to complete The Last of Us before I even watched the first episode. I failed and ended up watching the show anyway. Granted, I had already started a playthrough many years before and eventually picked it up again on stream, so I don't think that counts. However, back in April, Season 2 was approaching, and I knew I needed to play catch-up. I completed Part 1 just in time for the first episode to be aired, and The Last of Us Part 2 was ready to play. Suffice to say, I completed Part 2 well before Season 2 ended, and I immediately began New Game Plus on both the games. I decided then and there that I would use a game tracker to take notes and rate games I've completed this year so far, and generally I'm pretty impressed with my progress. I don't know why I don't complete games exactly. When I was a kid, hell, even 10 years ago, I had this weird super ability to complete a few games really quickly, all the while soaking in everything about the story with some achievements on the side. Now I'll be lucky to get a few hours in before I put it down, destined to be forgotten. Is it because games are longer now with an endless game loop? Is my attention span completely shot? Or is it that I have less time and energy these days because I'm in my mid-30s? Maybe we can figure this out together. Either way, my backlog is the final boss and I'm taking you with me. First things first, how do we start? I could be overcomplicated by going through my spreadsheet, analysing which game would be the best to inevitably discuss by cross-referencing my YouTube videos, but I think I'm going to keep it simple. Play something I know I'll actually enjoy and preferably something I've already started. I will, however, make a list of games in my backlog I'm currently playing and continue from there. Heck, I might even let fate decide and dabble with a roll for game segment. If the games are physical, I will grab them from my collection and keep them in a designated time to play box to keep track. If they're digital, however, then along with being on a list, I'll be sure to make a folder or category on a specific system simply named something like time to play, bitch. Before we go any further though, and before there are any game suggestions in the comments, I should probably set some ground rules first and set the scene for my current hardware situation. Now, I don't own a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, and my gaming PC is a little bit worse for wear these days, so purchasing or upgrading is kind of off the table due to funding. Saying that, I've got to a point in my life where I'm feeling out of the loop, and now that I'm working in the games industry, I feel like I've got a lot to catch up on. Plus, it would be nice to look at my collection with pride rather than sheer dread and guilt. Other rules I'll be implementing within this challenge will be as follows. Rule 1. no remakes or remasters. Now, nostalgia is a trap of mine. I could easily cozy up with the Crash Bandicoot remaster, reliving my childhood whilst ignoring the challenge and calling this a day. However, unless the remake or remaster changes the game drastically with new features, or I've never actually played or completed the game, then a trip down memory lane is a big no-no. Rule number 2, no replays. Much like rule number 1, as much as I'd like to start a new save of Fallout or another game that I've completed 100 times, I'll have to be strict with this rule. The only caveat is, if I have no idea what I was previously doing, or the game is bugged in some way, I can restart or even refer to a guide or a walkthrough. Sadly, this kind of thing happened with my PS4 save of Fallout 4, where I ran out of save slots, so I had to restart on PC. So many wasted hours. Rule number 3. No new purchases. This one is a big for me, especially when games are on sale. I was able to follow this rule a few years ago and I was pretty successful, so I'm kind of feeling hopeful for this. Should I have the funds, I am only allowed to buy a new game once I've completed one. Saying that if I am gifted a game or sent a code by a developer, I don't think that should count. I've still got other videos to make. Rule number 4, be monogamous. I guess you can say I have commitment issues when it comes to video games. In order to stay focused and not trip up or have to restart, I'm going to work through one game at a time. Then when I've completed it, I can tick it off my list rather than spinning too many dishes, or in this case, games. Saying that, I will be having a shorter game on the side at my disposal if burnout starts to creep in. Other minor or mini rules may be adjusted and added as I continue through this adventure, so if you have any helpful tips to get through the backlog burnout, let me know in the comments. I'm sure other people would appreciate the help too. I think it also goes without saying that I would like to take the time making a video with every game that I complete, so please be patient. Hell, even if I feel like it, I might stream it, so keep an eye out for that. So with a plan made and a goal in sight, I'm feeling pretty hopeful. As for the first game on my backlog to complete, we have some contenders. We could visit the wonders of Night City, fight robot dinosaurs with Aloy, and heck, even bounce around a crafted world with Yoshi. The list goes on and the possibilities are endless. I guess you'll have to come back and find out though. Let's just say I recommend you hit that subscribe button and the little bell just to be kept up to date. But surely I can't be the only one with this problem, right? What about you? Let me know in the comments below about which game or games in your backlog that you're just eager to complete. And feel free to join me as I battle my backlog BBEG and watch the list get smaller together. Thanks again so much for watching, happy gaming, and have a good one. Bye!